Hey, collective, what's going on? It's your girl, Tracy, Ascension 225, Tarot and Oracle. What is crack-a-lacking, you guys? It's, I think it's Tuesday here, in the ATL. Wait a minute, Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? Yeah, I think it's Tuesday, April the 26th, 2022. I'm at home. I worked. I'm at home. I'm chilling. I went on my nature walk and communed with the source, and also got grounded, in some nature. So tonight, last few days I was thinking of the next video that I wanted to be able. Sorry, that's the smoke is my sage. The last few days I've been trying to think of what type of video I wanted to make, and of course, a good tarot read, can't go wrong with that, right? But I feel like as we learn and as we ascend as spirits having this human life, that we should pass it on. You know what I'm saying? In the last few years, we went into the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius, I think, lasted like about 23 years. And during this time, it is all about spiritual growth. It's all about ascension. It's all about knowledge. It's all about opening up that third eye, right? And getting those downloads from the source, the creator, in order for us to expand as spiritual beings, right? It's all about expansion, growth, leaving the past in the past and embracing, the present, really embracing the present, because the past is already gone. The present hasn't happened yet. Yes, we can think about the present, but we can't get fixated on either one of those time periods. The age of Aquarius is all about being present, and even though your monkey mind goes all over the place, just sort of to be able to reel yourself back in so that you are in the present moment and you're enjoying what's happening right here, right now. Like on my nature walk, I'm actually stopping to smell the roses. You know what I'm saying? And they smell delightful too. But that old adage to stop and smell the roses, it's so freaking true, because we're always in a rush to do this, do that, conquer this, conquer that, chasing the material world, or the worldly world, instead and chasing all external things. But the age of Aquarius is about going inward, and that internal journey, that we as spirits, we made an agreement to come here to Earth and have this human experience, embody this human body, for reasons. We're not just here just being matter, just walking around being human flesh. We signed a contract to accomplish something, to do something in this lifetime. Lessons learned, kind of like generational curses to be righted, to be fixed, for the wheel to stop there, and have us be the end of that whole generational, I can't even say that word, generational curse that, people talk about. We need to be able, and the only way to do that is to heal, as spirits, and sometimes we have to go through a few lifetimes in order to be able to finally heal, or find forgiveness, or learn this lesson, or accomplish this, or whatever. But so I don't want to make this a long video, but tonight what we're going to do is we're going to have a short discussion about your spirit team, And I don't know if you know this or not, but we all come to this earth and have this human experience, but we're all surrounded by our spirit team. All of us made an agreement to come here. We have our soul circle, our soul family, and then we have our spirit teams. And our spirit teams are like our spirit guides, our angels, our archangels, and stuff like that, which we're going to get into right now. That is considered our spirit team. So even those times where you feel like you're alone and you may feel like you're the only person left on the earth, that you feel so lonely, and isolated, that you always have a spirit team with you, and to be able to tap into that intuition that's here in your third eye and also in your solar plexus. People say, I got that gut feeling, or it spoke to me in my gut, or whatever. That's your intuition, and that's the source. That's the Holy Creator trying to communicate, or your spirit team trying to communicate to you about maybe what your next steps need to be, or stuff like that. So this is just like Spirit Team 101, just in case you didn't know. All right. And it's really a blessing, and you can always reach out to your spirit team 24/7. They're at your access all the time. Even if you just have conversations with them, just getting to know your spirit team, talking to them, acknowledging that they're there, you know what I mean? Allowing them to impart that knowledge that you need to know in order to go through the ups and downs of being a human being, right? Right. We all need that support system, and that is our spiritual support system, just like we have physical support systems. All right, so I've been checking out a lady, and her name is Sonia Choquette, and I will leave her her website information in the comments. She really is very learned as far as the spirit teams that we all have and our journey as spirits and as souls. Her name is Sonia Choquette. So this is really how she breaks it down as far as our spirit team is concerned. So life is not a solo journey, as I just got finished saying. We're never alone. People think we come in to this world alone as babies, but we're ushered in by our spirit teams, which consist of our ancestors, angels, spirit guides, archangels, Holy Spirit themselves, right? So we're never alone, and we're never alone when we pass over either. So on either of these journeys. Okay, she says, you were never meant to travel your path alone, without guidance, without help. You are a divine creature who was put in this world to thrive joyously. You are invited always to tap into the power, comfort, security, and inspiration of your cooperative guides, who are here waiting for you, and all you have to do is ask. So she says that when we connect with our divine support system, our lives flow naturally. We manifest more easily. Dreams are more expansive. We laugh louder and more often. We locate our inner strength and true gifts and connect with others more meaningfully. I just literally got the chills reading that. I mean, the last 2 years, as hard as this pandemic has been, and people have lost their lives, and it's been a time of grief and a time of struggle and a time of chaos. There have been some beautiful journeys, some spiritual internal journeys that have taken place with a lot of the collective out there. I think the pandemic made a lot of people look inward, not just because they were isolated in their homes. So it kind of forced people to look at their situations, look at themselves, look at their partners, look at their jobs, look at a whole bunch of stuff that maybe you just put on the back burner or just really never gave much thought to. And the pandemic really amplified a lot of those things. A lot of relationships didn't last during the pandemic. I know mine didn't. And a lot of other people, their relationships did not last. A lot of people lost their jobs, whether by choice or not by choice. I mean, it just had a trickle effect on the way we saw our lives, you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people, and I'd have to say I'm one of those people that really turned inward. I mean, I was already on that journey because I was already starting to get my yoga certification and was already, you know, into meditation, but I just took it up a few more notches as far as that internal seeking. You know, we're all light seekers, so and probably did for a lot of you collective as well, right? All right, so first we're going to talk about angels, okay? And Sonia says angels are our celestial companions through the heights and depths of this emotional human journey. And above all else, they empower us to open our hearts to full humanity. I love that, full humanity. You know what I mean? It's just like when you, it's just so expansive, you know, when you start that journey. But the angels, so angels they've never lived like a human life. They've always been celestial beings, right? Angels are overachieving protectors. They're always there. They're always available. They help us grow our souls. I freaking love that. They help us grow our souls. To grow our souls, forgive, and evolve. They hold our hands when we grieve and lift us up when we celebrate. Wow. How could you ignore that? I mean, have your own spiritual team that does all of that. I mean, I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. And then let's talk about your archangels, right? Like Gabriel. And I have some of the names of some of the archangels. And if you want to see more of a list of those names, then please go to Sonia's website that I'll have listed in the comments. Okay, so the archangels are our primary overseers, our angelic team whose mission is to help us evolve, like we just got finished saying. These powerhouses motivate us to be our best selves. Why? Because the creator, the source, whatever you call your higher power, put us here to live our best lives, not to be hampered down by, you know, toil and trouble and just all of these negative feelings that cause our spirits to become dampened, you know what I mean? And not full of life and not expansive. She calls them the Archies. The Archies open up the gates and hold the space so we can connect to divine support. Thank you, Holy Spirit. They work on helping us keep all the areas of our consciousness clear. Yeah, consciousness needs to be clear so we can continue that expansion and not be hampered down by a bunch of bullcrap. And then you have your guardian angels. Okay. Guardian angels is the first angel to arrive and walk us through life, keeping us safe and protected while we fulfill our soul's potential. Marinate on that for a second. I've got ringing in my ears. That is like so on point. So when you when you come into this life as a brand new spirit, a brand new baby, your guardian angel is the first to usher you in to this life and is with you, I believe, your entire life. Keeps you safe, keeps you protected, and here so that we're able to fulfill our soul's potential. And that is, so our guardian angel is our best buddy throughout our lives. Sometimes our guardian angel will make an appearance in human form in a moment of great need or distress or doubt. Many people have had this experience, and it always leads to some kind of solution. That's because your guardian angel knows you well and is always ready to help you. You know, I've always been an interesting, kind of a different type of person. You know, even when I was a kid, you know, when I first learned to read, you know, my mom, you know, was always like, go to the bookmobile or go to the go to the library and read, you know. And I was the kid always bringing home books about the paranormal, about ghosts. I wanted to know about the paranormal. I wanted to know about the esoteric type of spiritual stuff, right? Vampires, ghosts, hauntings, all that I just took an interest in. And my parents were like, you know, she's just a strange kid. You know, what can we say? But I honor my parents because they never said, you can't read that kind of stuff. And there are parents out there like Harry Potter. There are families out there that when Harry Potter movies came out, wouldn't even allow their kids to go see Harry Potter. Oh my God, it's devil worship. You know, it's witchcraft. Oh my gosh. Really? It's all in the intention, really, when it comes to spiritual gifts and spirituality. But anyway, so I had my, you know, and then I started having my own personal experience. So thanks to my parents for allowing the freedom not only to be my own spiritual self, because I did not grow up in the church 24/7 like a lot of people do, especially, you know, in the African American culture. My parents, you know, they, you know, allowed my brother and I to, you know, form our own opinions about spirituality and stuff like that. And I'm thankful for that too. Just being open to different things. So I had my own experience when I was about 14 years old. And there's, you know, everyone has a certain level of dysfunction in their families, right? So our family had our own level of dysfunction. So I was upset about something. And my father told me to go out and rake some leaves. So we lived in Arizona. We lived right by the mountains. We lived on this, it's called Fort Huachuca. And it's an old fort. And we lived about 100 yards away from this old ass cemetery, like from the Spanish American War, probably before that. But it was old and rustic, and all types of people were buried in there. Native Americans, Buffalo soldiers. I mean, it was just it was so old, and I'm pretty sure pretty haunted. But and so, I don't know, I think it might have been the energy that was in our house that we lived in. Maybe the energy was off because I never felt quite comfortable in that house. And there was a lot of chaos, a lot of arguments and like negative energy going on at that time in that house, now that I think of it. But so I was raking the leaves and I was crying, and, you know, I was tired of a lot of things. When you're 14, you know, sometimes you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I was raking in the leaves, and I felt like somebody was staring at me, like the hairs in the back of my neck went up, and I turned around, and I don't know, maybe 50 feet or whatever, there was a Native American woman standing there, she had the two braids and she had a beautiful face and she looked like she was about 8 or 9 months pregnant. And she had I always call it granimals because it was like a matching shirt, light blue shirt and a matching light blue pair of pants. And, as kids, we had granimals, you match them up and stuff like that. And we made eye contact, and she didn't speak to me. I didn't speak to her, but we made eye contact. And I don't know how long it lasted, but she gave me a message telepathically. And she said, God sent me here to give you a message. And she said, God understands that things are really rough in your life right now. Because I literally was thinking about committing suicide. And, the world would be better off without me in it. And so she was like, God sent me here to give you a message. God knows that things are really harsh for you right now, but don't give up. Don't lose faith. He sent me here to let you know that things are going to be okay. And that was it. And I turned, we broke the gaze. And I turned around real quick. I don't know why. I turned around real quick and I raked like 2 or 3 more times. And I turned around and she was gone. And I ran to the end of the street, which was maybe about 20, I don't know. It was a short, very, very short distance. And I looked and I ran around the whole neighborhood and I could not find this lady. Now, I told you she was at least 8 or 9 months pregnant. She could not have moved that damn quickly. It was a matter of not even a minute that passed. It was like seconds that passed. And I did not see her before that. I lived in that neighborhood for a while. I did not see her before that. And I did not see her ever after that. And I had that, at that moment, I knew that there was this greater power that was so powerful and so loving that out of all the billions of people on this planet, that the Creator would find a way to send an angel or a spirit guide. I'm not sure which one yet, that gave me a specific message that my life was going to get better and to have faith. And I knew from that moment on that there was a higher power and that they loved me so much that they would give me a personal message. And I felt so thankful for that. And I knew for a fact that all that paranormal reading and stuff that I read about, that it was true, that there are beings from another realm that have the ability to help us as human beings, help us through our lives. And I tell you what, no more than 8 months passed. My father's in the military. We got orders to go somewhere else. We went to Japan. And there was no more of the arguing. There was no more of that negative energy in the house. My parents were getting along. Everything was Gucci. I mean, literally every detail. I mean, what if I would have been that 14-year-old that, would have just not been able to see the forest for the trees and would have just ended my life? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm so thankful for that visitation, and I will never forget that. I mean, that's been so many, many years ago. And whenever I call her little white little white feather. And when I think of little white feather, I remember her as vividly as the day that I saw her. And I know she's part of my spirit team. So I say that to say that, believe me, it is real. Okay, So, thanks for allowing me to share that with you, collective. All right, so our guardian angel will make an appearance in human form in a moment of great need or distress or doubt. And I do believe that she was a guardian angel of some type. Many people have had this experience and always leads to some kind of solution. And there was a solution. That's because your guardian angel knows you well and is always ready to help you. That's beautiful. If you guys have had your own experiences, let me know. I mean, as a collective or as a community, you know, being able to share those stories of inspiration that you've been touched by the spirit realm. You know, I'm a ghost hunter as well, and I've been able to capture so much evidence that there is life after death, spirit voices, pictures, all this kind of stuff, that there's something to it. There's something to it, you know? Yeah. And then we have the Ministry of Angels. This is a group of angels that is always on call and ready for a quick assist. They bring the sweetness of life. Everything you're working on goes easier. Traveling, sewing, shopping, cooking. When you have your ministry with you, the ministry brings goodness and joy and loves to surprise us with gifts. These angels also usher in synchronicity and problem solving. They are the angelic foot soldiers who help make our lives work more efficiently and joyously. Yeah, I mean, that, you know, literally puts more pep in my step, as I know that I'm always armed, you know, I'm always girded up, you know, with my spirit team right there at my beck and call. Really, you just gotta, you know, talk to them, and they will show you signs and symbols that they are, you know, they really are there with you, in support of you. All right, so we have the helper angels. They have had human journeys, so they know us well and are experts in the field. They may also be family members who have crossed over but want to stay close and assist us. Helpers keep us connected to our highest potential and help smooth our journeys and our daily experience. Okay, so you know what? Little White Feather could have also been a helper, because I do believe that she had been in human form before, and who knows, she might have been one of those Native American spirits that came from the graveyard, that old graveyard that was like right down the street from my house. I don't know, but I feel like my mother, who passed away in 2016, love you, Daisy, mwah, love you. I feel like she's a helper. Her and my grandmother and my Aunt Frida, like when they see some fuck shit going on, they're like, oh, hell no, hell no, hell no. Let's take off the earrings. Where's the Vaseline at? We about to duke something out. We about to do some battling in a few minutes. They will not allow any of that. So I don't know about your ancestors, and we all have 7 generations of ancestors as part of our spirit team as well, guys. 7 generations. That's a lot of family. Yeah. But my mom and my grandmother specifically, they're like, oh no. And then we have teachers. These beings resonate at high frequency and work closely with us to raise our awareness of our true nature as spiritual beings. They help us discover our purpose in life as we work through our karma or our life lessons. Spiritual teacher guides are some of our most influential guides. They help us truly understand our soul. Yeah. And you know, it's like, It says help us work through our karma, or whatever our life lessons are, whatever we agreed to during this reiteration of life. And I don't know, it's like everybody goes through the ups and downs of life, right? Everyone has gone through extreme happiness and joy, and then feelings of grief and loss, whether that's loss over a relationship, loss of over a loved one, loss over whatever you may consider meaningful in your life, right? But and then, you know, having to go through that dark night of the soul where, you know, like if you go through a breakup and, you know, you're laying up on the couch crying, you know, and eating a whole gallon of Ben and Jerry's and shit, you know, just blubbering because you really feel like you know, you're going to stop breathing at any moment because the hurt is so painful, or losing a loved one from a death or something like that. It's so painful, right? But you go through that dark night of the soul, and if you allow spirit and your spirit team to help you heal from that grief, help you heal from that loss, help you heal from that trauma, even if it's trauma as a child. Healing is one of the best things we can possibly do, as well as forgiveness, although it's a process. Things don't come overnight, you know. But if we're able to forgive, and forgiveness is for ourselves in order to release that negative energy, those negative feelings, possibly towards another person or whatever. I'm still working on my own process of forgiveness, you know, so it is what it is. But I'm actively working to resolve that. And I think as long as we are continuing to actively work on those things that may be our shadow side. Everyone's got a light side, everybody's got a shadow side too, right? Working on those areas that are maybe considered shadow, with the resentment and the anger and the bitterness and all that other stuff, and unforgiveness, we just help continue to hurt ourselves. So these teacher spirits, these teacher guides, they would be the most influential, because we have to deal with our shit. We have to deal with our shit, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. We have to deal with our shit, okay, in order to get through that dark night of the soul to the other side. And the other side means healing, and healing means living more freely, right? Because you're not hampered down by a bunch of shit, like your heart's not completely closed off because you got your heart broken. Everybody gets their heart broken. It's a risk that you take when you fall in love. 3333 on the clock when you get your heart broken. Everybody goes through that. But are you willing to just say, no, I'm not willing to get my heart broken, so I'm just going to hurt other people in the process, right? And possibly be a toxic mofo, rather than go, you know what, I'm going to take the risk, and I'm going to give you my heart freely, and my heart freely. Yeah, I'm going to give you my heart freely, and have faith that you're going to treasure it, and I will treasure your heart as well, right? That is when you get into that spiritual connection, when both people come equally balanced, like the Two of Cups in tarot come equally balanced, and you both work and strive to always keep that balance in the relationship, equal give and take, reciprocity. All right, and then we have the healers. The healers work to balance our thoughts, relieve our emotions, open our hearts, forgive the past, and care for our physical bodies and our energy fields. Healers diligently attend Attend to our soul's health as well, which can become sick and fragmented due to depression, drugs, alcoholism, trauma, abuse, especially, in childhood. The devil is a liar. The devil doesn't want me to speak on this. All right. And that's what we were just saying, is that if everything has a yin or a yang, and it's all about balance. So if you're walking around with childhood wounds, childhood trauma, I have childhood trauma. I had to go through years and years and years and years of counseling to resolve and to be able to forgive. I didn't want to walk around being a nasty, hateful, toxic human being. So I had to deal with it. I had to really look internally and deal with it. And that's really not that easy for a lot of people to turn internally and to deal and face those issues, those traumas, that hurt, that pain. But if we don't ever address it and heal it and ask for these healer spirit guides to assist us, then we will walk around until our deathbeds being fragmented people, right? Who were never able to heal, and because of depression, drugs, alcoholism, trauma, and abuse. It can all be healed. Can all be healed. Can all be healed. Yeah. So, all right. So lastly, what are spirit guides? Spirit guides were once human, but have ascended to a higher level of consciousness to become angelic guides. So these are the guides to our angels and our archangels. They're guides to them. So they dispatch. Tracy needs a healer spirit guide right now. Go send her, insert name or whatever. Send this healer to her. Spirit guides are assigned to you because they have a deep understanding of the soul lessons that you need to learn, that we need to learn in this lifetime. They can also be a religious figure, a soulmate, an animal, or a loved one who has crossed over. Definitely. And animals have souls just like we do. So some people are like, no, the animals just die and they don't, they're not part of our spirit team, or, their spirits don't continue on, because spirit's just energy, and energy continues on, right? So, of course they have spirits, and of course come on. Spirit guides are there to offer us guidance, support, and clarity to the situations going on in our lives. They will never tell us what to do, but they will always guide us to that right answer. So that's where, that third eye, and that's all about the knowing, right? It's all about the knowing. It's all about that gut feeling that says, yeah, you should go left instead of right, or maybe you should take this job over that job, or maybe you should pick this person, or this person would be a good fit for you. That internal knowing, and but a lot of people don't necessarily trust that instinctual, or that instinctual voice inside of us, that intuition. I feel like that's the Holy Spirit's voice that's trying to, and on our spirit team, trying to get our attention. And so sometimes just to be quiet and to listen. But if ego and pride steps in the way, right? And a lot of people walk around always egoic, and always in this prideful type of stance and energy. It makes it a little bit harder to see those signs and signals, or to hear those voices that the spirit team is sending, maybe sending that person, because that pride and that ego, it's like a blocker. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of people's downfall, unfortunately. And the Bible even says, pride becomes for the fall. So, yeah, best to let go of those two things. Yeah. Most of us have more than one spirit guide and connect with them through simply asking and staying open to the signs. So this is all about, if you're on a spiritual journey, or feel like you're on a spiritual journey, or would like to start a spiritual journey, going internal, because we're all here co-creating with spirit. We're not just here, plunked down here as humans, and you just go live your life, and you're guided by your ego and your pride and your material things and all that. That's not what life is all about. Who doesn't like a good red bottom? Yes, yes, yes. I love a good red bottom. Okay, so what? There's more to life, though, than life is so much more abundant when you understand that philosophy. It's more of an internal journey, not just a material journey, or on the surface journey, or how you look type of journey. It's not all about the shallow shit. It's all about that deep ass shit. Who you are as a spirit. It took me 50 years to understand that I agreed to come to this human life to learn how to, not to learn how, yeah, to acknowledge that I am a healer, and the ways that I heal are through yoga, the practice of yoga and meditation. Also being able to teach others how to heal through yoga, especially veterans, and also to meditate. Meditating is, and there's so many different variations of how you can meditate. I take a lot of nature walks, and I just go into another zone when I'm out in nature and communing. And I just, and some people sit in a dark room, or wherever, however you meditate, or some people take a bubble bath. If that's how you meditate and get to know yourself, mind, body, and spirit, then that's how you do it. But it's important to start that process and not just live a life based off of what the world has to offer. The spirit world has a lot to offer as well. And when we pass away, we go back home. You notice a lot of people, before they pass away, they say, I want to go home. Just like my mom, I want to go home. All right, we're going to go home once you get out of the hospital or whatever, No, not that home. My mom looked at me like, not that home. Because the spirit already knows that you're going through that process of transition. So I say, yeah, Mom, when you get out the hospital, she's like, no, not that home. She's like, that home. And I want you to do my makeup. Okay? I'm like, and here I am, a spiritual investigator, a paranormal investigator, a ghost hunter, and all that other stuff, and still my mind continues to be endlessly blown, because the spirit knows that is our origin. That is the source. That's where we all go back to. It's all about the journey, right? And what did you learn during this reiteration of your life? Reincarnation of your life, right? You just come here and just take up a bunch of space? Or did you live a life fulfilled? A life full of as much joy, I mean pure joy and happiness. I mean, not fake it until you make it, but pure unadulterated joy in your life. Because you know that you're a spiritual being, and you're co-creating this human life with the Creator, Holy Spirit. And you have this wonderful spirit team involving angels and ancestors and divine, and oh my God, it's a beautiful thing. And I wanted to share this with you. And everybody, I'm going to name a few angels before we part. Of course, you've got Archangel Michael. A lot of people pray to Archangel Michael. It's a powerful archangel of protection, helps you to release fear, worry, clears negative energy, and finds lost belongings. And then you've got Archangel Gabriel, the archangel of communication, new beginnings, and strength, and can help you find your higher calling. And you always have access to any of these archangels. Archangel Metatron is the divine record keeper, our Akashic records, right? And a powerful spiritual teacher. Metatron can help you release and let go of the past. Leave it in the past. Let it go. Because you're going to get stuck if you don't let that shit go. And can help you tap into your divine connection. Wow. That's so cool. And then you've got, and this one I've never heard of, Archangel Haniel, the archangel of energy, vitality, and passion. She can release lower vibrations and evoke healing and love. And there's so many other angels, Uriel, Azrael. There's so many different ones. And I would just, if you want to find out more about archangels and more about your spirit guides, to check out Sonia Choquette's website. I'm gonna leave that in the comments, you guys. And I just wanted to share that with you. I feel like when we should teach and reach each other. We should teach and reach, right? It's all about ascension. It's all about North Node, right? Heal the South Node stuff, heal that, and then continue north to Alaska, North Node, guys. So thank you for allowing me to share that with you. And every once in a while, I will be dropping a video like this, because the more you know, the better we can grow, okay? Thank you for joining. My name is Tracy. Love you guys. Ascension 225, Tarot and Oracle. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. I'm giving away free readings at the beginning of every month. Need to be able to like, share, and subscribe. And the people that you share my channel with, it also helps my channel grow and reach other people, as well as tune in your friends and your loved ones to a pretty cool channel. So thanks for sharing and spending time with me today, you guys. Peace out, you guys. Take care. Be blessed. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.